Podcast 8, The 7 Values of Leadership.
Awaken the leader inside. Follow the path of leadership. Never give up. Never stop trying. Get up. Believe in yourself. Not every day is going to be easy, but you got to challenge yourself. You need courage. Be ready. Stop waiting for it to happen. Go make it happen. Harness the power within. You were destined to be a leader. Follow the path of leadership. Awaken the leader inside.
Podcast 8, The 7 Values of Leadership. Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Dave Rubalcava, and I'm your host here at Awaken the Leader Inside. Congratulations, you made it past the foundation. I know we talked a lot about hardships and struggles, but I think all of that's necessary to get you ready for the 7 values of leadership. And so what are the 7 values? The 7 values were designed to look at very specific leadership traits. And if you learn to use them as a way of leading your team, or even as a way of really looking at what you're struggling with as a leader, and you're able to balance it, then you're going to be a very successful leader. Leadership is about being honest with yourself, being honest and being situational about what you're doing great as a leader, and sometimes things that we're not going to do great, and sometimes you're going to be put into a new role, and some of your strengths or some of the values that led you to success, the last position may not carry forward because you're playing in a different set of rules, or maybe you're potentially playing in a different environment that needs a different portion of your leadership. So this is to kind of isolate the 7 values that can help you find success. And quite honestly, for me, the 7 values were created for me to identify what part of my leadership was actually failing me. And that way we can take a deeper look into that characteristic or that value and dissect it and look at, what part of accountability am I failing in? What part of demonstrating courage am I struggling with? But before I get too far into the podcast, on this page, we actually have the PDF that you can download and you can print out and you can look at to really take a look at your own leadership and evaluate your own leadership. But in this podcast, we're actually going to start to break them down. And I'm just going to go a little bit general over the 7 values, and we're going to talk as the next couple of podcasts are going to be specifically each individual value. Okay, guys, so the 7 values of leadership are made up of 7 values. One of the most significant values, in my opinion, is accountability. That is the root of your entire leadership. That is the root of everything that goes right or goes wrong in your career. Accountability is at the core of it. And so we talk about accountability. Accountability is self-awareness, adaptability, and really being able to look in the mirror and identify where your growth is at and what you're going to have to do to change it. Be able to self-discover it. The next one is rigor. And rigor is probably my most favorite because in all the leadership values, this is the one that challenges your level of commitment, that challenges your mindset to do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's rigor. I mean, you can't fake that one. You have to put in time, effort, hard work, focus. And under that is being action-orientated, empowerment, not only to you, but to your team. And in rigor, being able to be a situational leader and make difficult decisions quickly and just power through them sometimes. The next value is demonstrate courage. This is probably the value that opened up the doors for me because it's probably the most difficult. And demonstrating courage, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? But it's being able to lead through change, knowing that you're uncomfortable, knowing that you may have some fears around it. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to lead the charge and lead through change. You also have to be objective. And one of the things that I think we sometimes forget when demonstrating courage is actually being transparent with not only yourself, but your team, your leaders, and being able to say what needs to be said. Sometimes that's kind of scary because you may have an opinion that is not the norm, or you may challenge the normal status quo because you have a different idea or a radical idea. And it takes courage to actually share that with people. Another value is communicating effectively. We all know that communication is extremely important, but we sometimes forget the value of it while we're struggling and how important it is to communicate and to come up with a clear and concise direction for your team. I think communicating effectively also takes you having to be an active listener, because knowing what your team needs from you and understanding what they need in forms of communication and follow-up, that's important too. And sometimes just being a soundboard for your team can help you find the better solution, maybe not your original solution, but find a better solution that will work for the entire team. And then fostering self-discovery. All of that is building a foundation of solid communication and doing it effectively. Another value that's near and dear to my heart is being team orientated. And I didn't learn this one until a little bit later in my career. I don't think I really put a lot of effort into understanding team dynamics or understanding when you're building teams how important being team orientated is and building that type of culture. And under that, we talk about team morale, building trust. Trust is the most significant thing you're ever going to need within your team to build an all-star team. They have to trust not only in you, but they have to trust in each other, and that has to actually be fostered. We'll talk a lot about that in another podcast. And then be a developer. You have to develop people. You have to lead people. You have to guide them, coach them, spend time, nurture them. It's an extremely important value. Another value that we have is called customer focused, and that one's pretty self-explanatory, right? We need to be, we're in the business of helping people, or we're in the business of servicing other people. Being customer focused cannot be taken lightly. It's either going to make or break your business, and as the leader, you have to demonstrate your ability to deliver exceptional customer service and deliver the brand that you want your customers to know you for. You have to teach them how important our clients, our customers are in business. And the last one is kind of the end-all piece to it. And I think sometimes we chase this one directly, and we kind of forget about the other values, and that's what causes some problems. But being results-driven, everything in business is about results. Every component of being a leader is somehow you're there to deliver results. By using critical thinking, strategic planning, and doing a lot of follow-up, and obviously creating goals for yourself. This one is extremely important. I like to look at being results driven as this is the end result to the rest of your leadership values. Is if you're doing strong with rigor and demonstrating courage, and you're balancing whatever value you may feel as an opportunity, and that you're self-aware of that, I guarantee you will get the results. So these are the 7 values that helped me throughout my career and helped me grow and become self-aware and really dig in to be situational when I need to realize which part of my leadership is leading the charge and which part of my leadership is actually failing me and failing my teams right now. So we're going to talk about each one of these values over the next couple of podcasts, and we're going to do some interviews with other leaders and talk about the values and how they help them find success, or how they use those certain values to develop and train others to understand values, the 7 values, and build their careers as well. And don't forget to download the PDF that's attached to this podcast, and it's also located in the resource page. So, all right, let's get ready, guys. Let's go ahead and start talking about the 7 values. They will change your career. Stay tuned for the next podcast. Always remember, awaken the leader inside.